This week, if you were looking to get your hands on the mini wargaming Ravaged Star miniatures, well, don't worry, you still can. We're also going to take a look at some of the card art coming from the Battle at Baldur's Gate Magic the Gathering Commander set, and Games Workshop has broken the clock because squats are back, baby. This and more in this week's Hobby News. I'm Angela, you're watching Hobby Night, now let's get to it.
What? You thought we were joking?
Games Workshop is spoiling us. First, we had the announcement of a brand new 30K Horus Heresy game, and now they've broken the clock, absolutely destroyed it by giving us new squats. And it actually sounds like we're getting a full 40K army out of this, and not just something out of Kill Team, which is honestly what I originally thought when I saw the announcement. Now, they originally teased the squats as a April Fool's joke, but if you watch the trailer, they put way too much money into it. It had to be something real, right? And it happens to be. I still can't believe we're getting the squats. Now, they are changing some things. They're calling them the Lords of Votann, which is fine. It's kind of a strange name, but I'm still going to be calling them squats, and I honestly imagine a lot of people will as well. They've also seemingly are acting like the squats have just been around for a while, which reminds me of when Games Workshop introduced a couple of new Space Marine vehicles and then just expected fans to go, oh yeah, those have definitely been here. Sure, okay, right. Because, I mean, as far as I know, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, I don't know if the squats are actually talked about in the books very often. I know there's some older lore that definitely mentions them, but in most of the modern stuff, with the exception of the Blackstone Fortress box, I don't really remember squats being mentioned much. Maybe they're mentioned in Necromunda, that I'm not so sure about, but regardless, it just feels weird that they're expecting us to just accept that they were there since the Age of Strife. They've just, I guess, been in hiding or something, who knows. In fact, I also think the Tyranids like wiped them out canonically, so I'm going to be curious how they retcon that as well. I imagine it's just going to be a matter of, oh, this particular house and this particular house were wiped out, but these other ones were in hiding and survived. Overall, though, it is very cool that we're actually getting a brand new faction coming back with fresh rules, totally new miniatures, for the first time in a really long time in Games Workshop's history, especially for Warhammer 40,000. Now let's actually talk about the models themselves a little bit, because we've got a peek at least one of them. And I like him, but I don't know if I love him. At first, I was like, ooh, this is really, really cool. And then the more I looked at it, the more I felt like it was kind of Infinity-esque in its design. Like, they almost actually look like they might be working with the Tau a little bit, because their armor feels a little bit more Tau-esque and Xeno than it does Imperium or anything that I would actually associate with a human race that's supposed to be mutated. It's an interesting concept, and I'm curious to see what else we're going to be getting, especially when it comes to like the tanks and vehicles, because I think there could be some really, really fun things in regards to some Dwarven-esque space vehicles. But overall, I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about this new faction, but I'd love to know what your comments are down below. Are you excited about them? Are you like, whatever, I don't care? Tell me all about it.
It's that time of the video where I interrupt to tell you about my Patreon and to let you know that we just added a Discord server which all tiers get access to. So if you're wanting a way to chat with me, share with me your projects, or just tell me what board games you're playing, definitely make sure to check the link below and check out my Patreon.
Mini Wargamer Dave here from miniwargaming.com. Wargamers, welcome to the launch of the Pledge Manager for Ravaged Star Armies of the Veil Touched. First and foremost, Pledge Manager is open, so if you missed your chance to actually get some of these models during the campaign back at the beginning of the year, now's your chance. There's a link in the description and pinned.
Remember how a little while ago we talked about the Ravaged Star miniatures coming out from Chaos Dave and his team at Mini Wargaming? Well, if you missed out on that campaign, you're in luck because the Pledge Manager just opened up, so you can still get your hands on all those glorious Chaos models. Alongside the announcement of the Pledge Manager being open, which does get you access to any of the 4 bundles or the Mega Bundle if you want to just get everything, there's also an announcement for a rule set that's going to be coming alongside these miniatures. Now, it's not going to be out for a little while. They are working on it this year, but as soon as possibly next year, we're going to be getting another crowdfunding campaign for a rule set for Ravaged Star, as well as some additional models, some brand new factions, which I'm really excited for because honestly, Dave has been playing war games for a very long time. I'm going to be very interested to see what he and his team come up with in regards to a rule set, and I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on this. Now, I am not a huge Magic fan, but I do like to dabble in collecting the cards every now and then, and we've got a really cool set of Commander decks coming out very soon, starting specifically June 10th, and that is going to be the Battle for Baldur's Gate Magic set. Now, I have previously bought the Forgotten Realms set for Magic, loved the cards in it, and taking a look at what we're getting in these Baldur's Gate sets, I'm very excited because we're seeing a continuing trend of the rulebook style cards, which are my favorite type. These are the ones where they do sort of a sepia background, black ink, and then a single color. And I absolutely dig the way that they look because they do look like they came out of an old school style RPG book. And I just think that's really, really rad. In particular, we got to take a look at the Fireball card recently, as well as the Brass Dragon, which both showed their rulebook styles cards. And I think they're so rad looking, especially that Fireball. It just looks absolutely amazing. But on top of that, some of the other cards are looking pretty rad as well. There was one in particular, the Wand of Wonder, that I really thought the bleed art version and the just normal standard version of it looked really cool. There's a lot of beautiful colors, lots of oranges and pinks with a little hint of blue, which popped beautifully. And I don't know, I feel like Magic has really gotten on like this really large color push recently, whereas before I feel like things were a bit more muted, a bit more dark, and now they're doing these really bright, vivid things, and I just love seeing that because, I don't know, if you've liked this channel, you watch my stuff a lot, I like to paint in a lot of really bright, vivid colors, so I like seeing that in other mediums as well. Next up, I want to talk about the Tempest of War mission pack that recently released alongside the GT mission pack and all of the Nachman product that we got recently. I have not actually played with this particular set yet, but I was reading about it and I've watched some Tabletop Tactics battle reports using it, and I'm really, really excited about the Tempest of War cards. If you have played the Maelstrom cards from previous editions, the 8th edition specifically, then you'll be very familiar with this particular mission style. You are having a set of rotating secondaries, but unlike in the Maelstrom of War cards, you can actually discard and get rid of the cards that you can't achieve, which I think is a big game changer when it comes to this particular format style. The other reason that I really, really like this is, one, only one person needs to actually own these cards because there's enough cards in the deck for both people to have identical secondaries within their decks that they'll be drawing from as they're playing, which I think is great. It means less people have to spend money in order to be able to use this particular game system. That's always a plus. I also love that the fact that you're alternating your secondaries, that you're not necessarily keeping them over and over and over again, just scoring the same damn thing repeatedly every time. I've played a few GT missions previously, and frankly, I found it really boring because my opponents ended up just performing the same actions over and over again to score a bunch of points, and they did end up winning, which was fine, but like, it was dull to play against. And this, which actually makes you change out what your secondaries are going to be, creates this really nice ebb and flow as the game goes, and I think it just makes it that much more dynamic and a lot more fun to play, which is great for both competitive games as well as more casual games if you're trying to introduce people to the game without completely overwhelming them. It works really well, and if you've ever wanted to try a different format for playing, I would really recommend picking up the Tempest of War mission pack.
Throne. Even the Ogryn plays faster than you.
Oi, you lot, aren't you supposed to be somewhere else?
Last but not least, we have an official release date for Darktide. It's coming out September 13th, and I cannot wait. I loved the trailer announcing the actual release date. Also, Games Workshop, please, 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 please just make a set of playing cards with the various card backs that you used across a number of different trailers. This one, there was a couple other ones from previous ones. I want those playing cards because they just look so cool, especially these ones because they look like they were tarot size, and I'm just all into that. Just give them to me, gosh darn it. Now, before I head out, I do want to give you a huge thank you for 30,000 subscribers. We are like 20 away.
15 as of this recording.
Okay, 15 away as of this recording. So I imagine by the time this video is out, we'll have actually hit 30,000. And that just blows my mind. It's also perfect timing because Horus Heresy just got announced and it's 30K as well. So it's perfect timing. Now, if you want to know what we're doing to celebrate 30,000 subscribers, well, I'm gonna tell you right now. We're gonna have a live stream Q&A, and if you have questions for me, I would encourage you to go watch the Best of Hobby Night episode and go ahead and put your questions in the comments below. That's where I'm collecting them all, and I'll be choosing my favorites from them to answer on the live stream alongside whatever live questions we get coming in. The live stream announcement date for when it'll actually be happening will come later. Don't worry about that. I'll be posting it everywhere. So be looking forward to that down the line. In the meantime, I wanted to give a huge thank you to my patrons for helping us do this, making it so content like this can continue to happen. Without your guys' support, we just wouldn't be doing it. So thank you very, very much. I have been Angela. You have been watching Hobby Night, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.